potential dealing with a woman that might become combative. Because we can argue that in the beginning, everybody can check all the boxes. And it's just my experience. I think people been married for 5 to 10 years on here probably can vouch. Over time, the person that you're dealing with could be unbecoming of a wife, or there's. If y'all want me to stop, I'll stop. Go ahead. I think it's rude to do that, but go ahead.
Well, look, as far as the statement was, as far as knowing, I don't know about knowing, but you have an idea. In my opinion, most men have an idea, but you got to continue to do your research and make sure is what you're seeing the real thing. If she's living behind her conversation, is her actions following up with her speech. That's the most important thing. Talk is cheap where I'm from. Action speaks louder than any words. And if her action doesn't live up to what she's saying, now I got to reevaluate the situation. But you do, I think most men do have an idea that she's a wife type material. Now, whether you want to pursue and jump on that and go from there. But I think most guys have an idea.
Hey, Dara, no, I was just showing her face expression. That wasn't for you to stop talking. I was just showing her face expression to what you were saying, but you can go ahead and finish. I wasn't. She just was reacting and real animated, so I was trying to.
No, go to her, because she sounds like she got a lot to say. Go ahead.
Bohemian, did you want to give a little bit of context as to what was going on with those face expressions?
Nigga, every time we talk about marriage, you always have to talk about divorce. No one, like psychologically, we cannot think about marriage without thinking about divorce because people keep doing it. Every single time one of these men on the internet,
I guess every time we talk about going skydiving, we don't talk about the dangers of skydiving. Like, these people are crazy. But yeah, thanks again, guys, for tuning in. It's J-Pop TV, and I got this video from Dat Shack 2 times. So yeah.
Want to be internet famous, gets on marriage. They have to talk about divorce and combative women. And I'm like I was cool. Like, y'all saw me, y'all cool. And then, you got to think about divorce. Combative women, people that don't want to submit and be cooperative. We could just talk about marriage.
We could. You are right about that. We could easily just talk about marriage. But guess what? Divorce is at what percentage? If we try to just talk about marriage and just not talk about, I actually believe anytime marriage is brought up, you should talk about divorce. In this state of the world, like this state that we're in, you should every time. I don't care what anybody say. If I have a son, I say my kids, they gonna know. I'm gonna tell them, divorce, and you watch out, because these heifers, they'll use it. They will definitely use it. So yeah, if we talking about Western society, you definitely gonna bring up divorce. But she is right. We don't have to talk about it, but it's smart to always tell you about it. It's literally like when we talk about sexual relations, we ain't gotta talk about STDs, but we should. You get that?
If that's the goal, because literally, I think what set me off is that everything was so positive, right? Everybody was giving these answers about how men view women when they first meet them. And then we have to be met with divorce. When we're talking about marriage, we're talking about marriage. Divorce is divorce. That's a completely different subject. And if you want...
It's a different subject for women. For men, it's not a different subject, because majority of men, when we get divorced, we lose stuff. We lose access to stuff. You guys gain stuff, if anything. You gain 100% control of the children. You gain money from your spouse. You gain spousal support, whatever you call it. You gain all that stuff. So you guys don't have to think about it, because it's all positive for you guys. But yeah, let's continue.
People, especially the people who are advocating for nuclear families and marriage, and women need to be wives and men need to be husbands, why keep bringing up divorce?
so men don't just go marry women who actually gonna get divorces. You bring up divorce because we want guys to get with women and not make them just baby mothers, but you don't want those guys just marrying any lady who say that she want to get married when we know that at a high rate they'll leave. So that's why you and it's a 50% chance, and 70% of the time is going to be the other side. So you got to. You don't have to, but if you don't, you led that person. You failed that person. That's what you did. You failed that person.
In the conversation, people are going to always be scared to get married, and then the things that you're talking about are null. You might as well shut the up talking about marriage and just talk about divorce, because you're scaring the shit out of people. And also, if you want men to marry these wife-like women, why keep talking about combative women? We're not talking about them. We're talking about the women that you want to marry. This is counterproductive. It has no place in this conversation at all whatsoever. So,
well, first off, I'm gonna be honest with you. There's no such thing as a perfect lady. No such thing as a perfect lady. The guy, you're a fool. Female nature is chaos. Female over here, now, being honest, they got it. They hear a worse spot just because, we're talking about those I deal with speaking.
that's really what my facial expressions were about. It was stupid, with all due respect. I don't know if I can find any in the room, because I don't like this divorce conversation when we're talking about marriage, when we're supposed to be marriage minded, when we're supposed to be advocating for marriage. Let the niggas that are hurt and harmed by divorce, and they got this arrested development, let them talk about that over there. But we are supposed to be talking.
I don't like when they use this word hurt, because when you're young, if you get burned by a stove, you get hurt, but you learn to never touch a hot stove, but you're not permanently hurt by it. You just learn. So why do you keep thinking that guys who speak and educate young men on marriage are hurt? Like, you could tell they're always trying to like throw some kind of diss at you, because that's not being hurt. That's just educating yourself or being educated. If you see what I'm saying, you ain't gonna touch a hot stove again. You're not hurt because the hot stove burn your leg. You're not mentally hurt, is what I'm saying. But yeah,
Talking about marriage and bringing families together, right? I mean, that's what I thought we were doing.
Oh, you want the person who can give the other people the information so they don't get fucked over. You want them to stop speaking. That's what you're saying. That's what you just said. The one who actually has the information because they've been through the belly of the beast, you want them to stop speaking. That's the guy who in this fairy tale land, like the negatives that comes along with it doesn't happen. You know, that's what you just said, right? That's what she just said. She wanted the people who made the movie Saving Private Ryan to stop making it, so that the people who go there onto the front line, they don't know what could happen. So they just live in a magical world that's not.
Bad women in divorce.
Well, let me answer the question. So why did I mention divorce? Why did I mention combative? Couple of things. Number one, because I can. Who can stop me?
All right.
Number two, if you feel like that's not what you want to hear, you can remove your ass from the conversation. Nobody's gonna bat an eye.
All right.
Three, he asks from a man's perspective. What goes through a man's mind when he's thinking about getting married? And to be genuine about this conversation, you would have to factor in the risk. Unfortunately, women do not think the way we think. This is exposing that we think very different, y'all. We actually look at the risk when we're making a decision like this. Y'all don't, because divorce is a good thing for y'all. If it's a good thing if it fails, according to the probability and likelihood in most cases.
sorry for pausing so much, but you guys see, like, she's not even listening. She's just down there reacting. She's not even listening to what he's saying. She's just in her feeling and just reacting. Like, that's why you can't speak to women, guys. You just better you just be silent and do what you gotta do, because you can't speak to women. Like, a lot of these podcasts is just basically a waste of time. It's just to show us really how they think, because you can't really change their mind. They gotta want to change their mind.
Not all, but most cases. That's why men think about those things, because innately it is natural for us to have novelty. Whenever we get in a marriage, we got to discipline ourselves to the restrictions of a marriage.
Well, actually, the actual thing is that female nature and male nature, men, it's more likely for men to look ahead. Women live in the now. That's female stuff. So it's not hate jobs, but go on. Like, because at the moment they just feel about
Are we actually ready? Can we be emotionally? Can we be loyal? Can we be faithful to just one woman and restrict ourselves to that? Are we ready to lead a household? Are we ready to deal with conflict when we deal with a woman? We have to put those things into play, into the thought process when making these decisions. That's why a person like me who done that is able to have a lasting marriage versus yourself who failed at marriage because you didn't.
Shots fired.
Let's talk about divorce.
Excuse me.
Let's talk about your divorce. Let's talk about your divorce.
Excuse me.
Since you want to talk about my divorce, let's talk about divorce.
Excuse me. I wasn't finished talking.
No,
excuse me. I wasn't finished talking.
Let's bring up your divorce.
Excuse me. I was not finished talking.
What's your first wife leave you
Excuse me, let me finish talking.
Why your first wife leave you, Darwin?
To let you know that it's poor etiquette to interrupt when somebody's talking. I'll let you finish talking. Can you let me finish talking?
You keep bringing up my divorce.
Can you let me finish talking?
You keep bringing up my failure when you have failed also.
You're showing your true nature, man. Just let me finish talking, and I won't interrupt you when you talk.
That's fine.
Thank you. If you don't want to hear it, you can remove yourself.
I want us to be on the same page of our failures.
We're not on the same page. I'm a married man. You're living in your failure, and you're trying to shoot. You're trying to shoot
in your failure too.
You're living in.
That's not true. He's not living in his failure, my dear. First off, let's get one thing straight. I want everybody to know. Madam, you actually multiple times he failed. Out of 3 with you, read with you, my dear.
Just let me finish talking. I respected you whenever you were talking, but you barked up the wrong tree, and now your panties is wet right now. So go ahead and just can you just be quiet? Can you be quiet and let me finish talking?
Okay, here's the thing. I don't submit to you.
You don't submit to anybody, actually. Even the guy that you married to, you don't submit to him.
Let's talk.
I did. I
respected the platform, not necessarily you. I respected the platform to allow you to finish speaking, so that the podcast continue to be effective for those who want to listen. But what you're doing is you're being a statue in New York. You're being that overweight statue in New York right now.
Let's talk about our failed marriages.
Can you let me finish what I was saying, and then you can ask. Can you let me finish what I'm saying, and you can ask me questions about failed marriage?
No, because you brought up me and my failure. So
I'll let you go ahead and talk. You go ahead and talk.
No, let's talk about your failed marriage as well. You keep talking about this successful ass marriage, and just because I have not married again, I'm living in my failure. I'm living in my success.
No, the hell you're not.
I chose myself. That doesn't have to do with anything.
No, that's not how that works. My marriage, you're not divorced. Either one, attempted to get number 2. Now you're a liar. Also part, but it's still not a good thing.
But let's talk about why the you got left. Did she file or did you file? Let's talk about this, since you always want to bring up somebody's divorce, because you are a divorced man. Your ass got left or left. We don't know.
Are you finished talking?
So don't bring up my motherfucking divorce again. Don't bring up my divorce again unless you're ready to talk about yours. So as long as you stop talking about my divorce, we'll stop talking about yours.
I don't know if you want to moderate, but I'm trying to be respectful.
Bring up my divorce. This is the one that
you're going to make me revert back to being Bruiser again, and I don't want to do that on this platform no more. I turned over a new leaf. Okay, so let me finish saying what I was saying.
I'll bring it back up.
To summarize what I was saying, when you ask a question in this nature from the position of where a man has to give his perspective, it's important for some of the women to just shut up and listen. Because we're trying to give you the game on here on how we think. You wouldn't otherwise get if you didn't have the luxury of being able to talk to us. But whenever you give us the time to be able to explain ourselves on how we think when we're making a critical decision in getting a marriage, it is a such thing that we actually consider these factors before we making a life-changing decision. And whether or not we can actually deal with a woman based off of what she's given us is important. And we know that a lot of women be on their representative in the beginning whenever we're trying to select and vet them out to actually seal the deal at the altar. We keep it a space in our mind to be able to compensate for the fact that she might change up on us. So we do consider divorce because it's likely to happen in this era. This is the one error that is most likely to happen out of all the errors. And we just seeing it way too often to turn a blind eye to it. And we have a group of women growing that's trying to convince us to not consider those factors so we can set ourselves up for failure and set our sons up for failure. And we just don't want to do that. So I'm one of those guys that are going to continue to hold the line. And I'm not doing it out of just saying it. I'm doing it out of integrity and credibility. I'm speaking from a position of where I'm living at, and I have a history of the things that I'm talking about. You can go ahead and check my resume. So guys who listening, you can listen to me, a man who's not afraid to show his wife, not afraid to present his lifestyle to the public, and can actually take time out of his life to go and push the narrative. Or you could listen to a woman who's scorned, bitter, angry, and alone, and fail.
Oops.
Your choice.
Shots.
Bo was a part of the conversation we were having before we went live. But me and Miss Taken actually talked about this particular thing, and she asked him, me, if I was married or if I was seeking to be married. And I actually did bring up the concern of divorce in all actuality. So I'm speaking to what Darwin is saying, that the assessment of the approach to marriage for most men, we don't just look at one side, we look at the other side as well. That's just wise, only because of the fact that you don't carry a marriage as an individual, you carry it as a unit. So there's two people. And unfortunately, we have to take into consideration that this person, this woman who I'm going to end up with may arrive at the decision to want to leave. That's just reality. I think that there's room for that, but I'll land.
I actually kind of I agree with both, but I do also agree with understand Bo's perspective that if every time, not saying that you don't factor that, I think women factor that as well. Because it is a potential reality, right? But
they on generally a factor.
I think when you are having those conversations, if most of the conversation is fear-based, so when you're talking about planning for a divorce, like all of those things, to me, that's coming from a fear-based mindset of already prepping your mind that more than likely my marriage won't work. So if you're already planning your escape, you're not.
Guys, this is just the sisterhood defending the sisterhood. Because if you're going to war, won't you walk with enough ammo just to make sure you don't run out of ammo? You ain't planning to run out of ammo. You're just making sure you don't run out of ammo. Like, this is just the sisterhood protecting the sisterhood. Don't trust these women. I'ma stand on that. Do not trust them.
Planning for the, betterment of the marriage. Like the conversation.
And then she also spoke about, like, ladies think about divorce. Yeah, y'all think about divorce, but y'all think about when y'all get divorced, y'all going with a bag. Most of y'all, if in a bag, y'all gonna get child support, something. Y'all gonna get profit. Like, there's really no negative. What's the negative for y'all? That your kids don't go up with their father. But that is for negative because y'all could do 50-50 or whatever. That he see the kids so they could have a father in their life, but still you're getting child support. So, like, yeah, y'all ain't fooling nobody with that.
Conversation around the divorce, we're going to have those it appears that we are having those conversations more as opposed to having the conversations around marriage and sometimes the barriers or the struggles that go within a marriage and what to do when that happens. So we never get to the divorce. That's where I think the conversations need to shift. I'm not saying not factor that in, but are you factoring in how do we overcome the changes that go on in a marriage? If she happens to change, what season is he in that I'm going to have to deal with? If we're having conversations around that, then a lot of times the divorce part won't even come into play because we're prepping for the marriage. It seems like.
Can I ask you a question?
Man, that's a whole heap of crap. But I'm going to skip this segment and I'm going to just go to the end when Boheme, whoever her name is, starts to play victim because of what happened earlier.
If you're trying to convince me, I think
you're telling that to the wrong person, though. You should be telling that to Bo because Bo didn't come at you bringing up your failed divorce immediately.
You don't want to talk to me right now, but
okay.
what
No, but it's you talking to her. You can open that door.
let me say this.
What is
There's
this?
absolutely no need for him to ever apologize to me.
I wasn't trying to.
Darwin did that as a dig. Darwin did that to get up under my skin. And yes, mistaken, I definitely fell for it. I did. It was, but the thing is that it always has to be my divorce, right? Like it can't be anything else about me. Darwin never brings anything up good about me. Darwin only ever brings up my divorce. Darwin only ever brings up things to dig at me. And so that's what I noticed today. He uses things as a weapon in order to get people riled up, right? That's what he does.
Okay, you're building a narrative. That's what you're doing. She's about to build a narrative, make herself a victim, and about to make other people around them victims. She's building a narrative. She's still upset. So narrative.
Now I'm realizing Darwin ain't never been cool with me. Darwin has always done this. He has always used these things in order to make himself look like he knows what he's talking about. And I'm okay with that.
Okay.
It's cool. So you can paint me as bitter. You can paint me as a failure. You can paint me as all of these things. I don't hear Darwin saying anything positive about me. And that is not someone that means me any good, which means that that's not someone that requires that amount of energy from me anymore. I can't give anyone any energy that does not mean me any good. And I'm cool with that. Like literally when Mistaken was like, don't fall for it, it clicked. And I was like, so.
Hey, you know what kill me about females? They all sort of different, right? But they all run the same play. Play victim. I won't do it anymore. Like the same, but like I've heard this speech in my life a lot of times from chicks that I dealt with. Like, yeah, they're all the same. But yeah, let's continue. I'm gonna wrap up in a bit.
I'm cool. I'm cool. Don't ever apologize to me.
Yeah, I know how illogical that sounds. Based on what you're saying, don't get mad and start saying, this is what you said. Don't mean cool with to them. You think about that's what I smoke. I don't understand that. You know, I guess if I stand.
You wanted to do, it got the reaction that you wanted. I'm really glad for you. And that was a good finale for us. That was a great finale for us, for you in particular. So I'm gonna let you have it. You can continue to paint me as bitter and a failure and a divorced woman, and I'm living in my failure. And I'm cool with that because I know what my daily life is like, and you don't, because you don't know anything about me personally. You've never inquired. You've never been concerned.
Then y'all were never friends anymore. Y'all were never
me very, very badly. That's the only thing I've ever seen from you is you bring up my divorce and you defended that man. So I'm cool. I'm great. Thank you, Mistaken. Really, thank you for saying that because it literally just clicked when you said that to me.
All right, let me try to respond to you, Kiana, what you said earlier. First of all, as a man who practiced accountability, I could agree that I did take a low blow. But am I going to apologize about it? No, because that's what I wanted to do. I'm also a man of my word at the same time. Yes, that's what I wanted to do because he was barking up the wrong tree when she started to attack what I was saying or attack my character and why I had a particular perspective. So sometimes you got to put people in their place. The second thing is...
Yeah, like they ignored that.
I don't know if you haven't been here long enough, but maybe you was watching earlier this year or... this woman specifically has a habit of pouring out her experiences and her history and her life and her relationships. And then she dig at other people. I'm not the first person this happened to. There's a woman by the name of Dr. Lady O who took a low blow on her
Dr.
too.
Lady O.
Even though it wasn't warranted. I'm not going to say it wasn't warranted, even though it was also disrespectful in her response. But her specifically, she'll dig at people, knowing that she's putting her personal life on the line to be scrutinized and expect you not to touch it. And I didn't necessarily was strategic or try to meticulously touch on her divorce. Divorce was what we were actually talking about. So that's why it came to mind. You know, it's not like, if we're talking about dating and trickery, I'm not going to say, well, you've been divorced. I'm just not going to throw that at it, but it had to relate to the topic. It had to be relatable to what we're saying. So because we brought up divorce.
But guys, that's all I'm going to do for today. Thanks again for tuning in. Like, subscribe, and leave your thoughts in the comments.